All right, you want to start?
Hello, okay, hello, magandang gabi sa ating mga friendlies dyan. Thank you so much for being us and thank you for having me, Ryan, back here in your stream. Ayan. So,
Yes. Good evening, guys. As you can see, we have this awesome influencer with us today. His name is Adrian Duarte. Unfortunately, Zara is out sick today, so we will continue with the show tonight. We have very interesting topics to cover, and I guess some of it are very timely, and some of it are very controversial. And we'd like to kind of share our thoughts to you guys. Just before we could, kickstart, just want to plug, talk about our social media accounts. So, guys, if you don't know me by now, name is Ryan De La Cruz. My Instagram is at Clarity Rye, and for most of my social media pages, it is Clarity Rye. Adrian.
hi, thank you so much for having me again. I'm Adrian. So, Ryan and I go way, way back. Like, we've met each other on a lot of content creator events and all the like. So, I'm just happy to be here. Thank you so much. And if you want to follow me on my socials, it's Fresh FM Adrian. And most of my accounts where I'm active Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. But stay with me on Instagram and TikTok rather than Twitter because I don't really do Twitter. I'm just there. But Fresh FM Adrian, if you want to see me there, hello. And I do have a I do have a group. If you guys want to check, I made a community called Project U, and we also have group chats there. It's just a community where a lot of people who are trying to improve themselves and all the likes are just there, like really connecting like-minded people and all the like. Yun yung peg ng group na ginawa ko. It was something born out of TikTok eh. So, pag-uusapan natin yan sa mga topics natin tonight, which is exciting. Okay, yun lang naman.
Okay, well, just before I start, well, thank you for accepting this invite. Zara and I wanted to have some fresh feedback and really just, another person that we can share the things that we like to talk about. Unfortunately, she's not here, but let's not, kind of feel sad about it. I know she's watching now. Hi, Zara.
Hey,
So
Zara.
yeah, so to anyone who will miss this video tonight, it will also be uploaded in our YouTube pages, so you can catch it again at your own convenience. So the topic for today is about content creation, the new norm. Diba? Apakabigat nung title, but it's a combination of everything. Hi Zara, she's saying hi.
Hi, Zara.
It's a combination of several, I guess not necessarily just trend that popped up during the quarantine, but I guess it has been building up in the last couple of years. But I want to get your input, and I'll probably dive right in. The first thing that we want to talk about, and I think this is very relevant, is more and more influencers, content creators are stuck or doing home content. Why is that? Something kind of a norm right now. Obviously, because of COVID. But what can you say about home content?
Well, again, ito kasi yan eh. For me, home content, sabi, tama, it's been building up, it's been growing, it's been whatever, and now lang siya na-emphasize. But for me, home content is a nicer way to actually get our creativity on the loose talaga. Because, not all the time, if you're a starter influencer, if you're just starting out new, if you're just doing this, of course, you're gonna think that, oh, my life isn't so exciting like the other influencers that you see. I'm not always on, what do you call that, on resorts. I'm not in resorts all the time. I'm not in the beach every time. And I don't have the resources and I'm not big enough to actually be tapped into all of those yet. So you're gonna think na, ano kaya yung content ko? Ano kaya yung gaganyan ko? So my point in home content, like right now, na-amplify lang siya being at home, is it really was a test of creativity. How will you put out valuable content and amazing content even at the comforts of your own home, even when it's not exciting. So, alam mo yun, you really are forced to do that. Ako, on my end, I've been doing home content since the pandemic. And recently, I've been focusing, Organica's here, hi Anika. And recently, I've been focusing on like, what do you call that? Working on coffee and the everyday little thing. Like ako kasi, like the one I have in TikTok right now is usually I'm making coffee while I'm making some deep like thoughts in my head na sinishare ko lang and then reading books and all the like. So you have to make sure na at a certain point you're trying to create something even if you don't have much and it's all good. And I would want to shout out for Diane for being here. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much. And if you could share, I'd love it. Thank you for being here. And she's part of the group. Thank you. I love you guys. Thank you. But yeah, so really, it's a test of sharing your creativity, telling people, telling a story through the things that you have at home. Because it's not always going to be exciting. That's what I always want to put out there. Like being an influencer, being a content creator is not always the glitz, the glam, and the fashion. Kaya lang naman marami rin gusto maging content creator kasi parang, I'm gonna get sponsored like this, I'm gonna get like that. If I'm big enough, I'm big like that. That's not the entire thing about it. It's really more of your expression of who you are and how you provide yourself like as a content creator in front of a lot of people. So yeah, that's my take on home content.
You brought up a very good point. It is a very difficult it's a challenge really because you not all of us have big houses. Eventually lahat ng pader, lahat ng kanto sa bahay mo, napicturean mo na. It's really a test of how creative you will be. But do you remember the time that everyone was making dalgona coffee?
Oh, for sure. TCQ season 1. I was part of the dalgona group. Yung nag-group pandesal din ako, pero dalgona was my bread and butter no panahon yun. Kada kape ko dalgona coffee ako noon. Season 1 was there. Yeah.
That was a great example of creativity and making it viral because who knew that just making foam out of your coffee will make it very interesting. I'm not sure if that is original to the Philippines, but it is or was a hit, diba?
Yeah.
And just remembering a conversation with Zara last time we had a live, hindi alam ng mga tao the work that you Echo, Diane, hello.
Hello, Jack. Thank
as
you.
I was saying, people don't realize that flat lay of food or skincare took a lot of time and a lot of things from the house before it looked like that. Diba? Kasi parang di nila alam merong part nun na kortina, may part nun na kobrekama. Alam mo yun? It's the way we content creators create something out of nothing.
I see. Yeah, totoo naman. It's a test. Like, tama yung sinabi mo, no? 4 corners of the house, lahat na picturean mo na, and you're gonna be like, gano'n naman talaga, ito na naman yung shot. Obviously, no, you'll mauubusan ka talaga. But to a point na maging creative ka about all those is the real challenge talaga about content creation. So, yeah, pag nakalampas ka doon dalgona, yes, I did it a lot. Alam mo, yung dalgona kasi na yun was somehow your escape. Alam mo, syempre, sanay ka bago mag-quarantine, mahilig ka mag-coffee sa labas, sasarap yung kape mo sa labas, hindi ka like, alam mo, ganon, yung na-enjoy mo sa labas, you can enjoy it at the comforts of your own home. Somehow, with dalgona. Syempre talaga nag-jump talaga ako sa bandwagon na yun. But after that, ngayon hindi na. Nag-level up naman ako. Bumili naman ako ng syrup para naman white chocolate coffee, iced coffee naman yung ginagawa ko. So, bumili ako ng machine. Nag-invest talaga ako sa home setup ko. Kasi syempre, hindi naman ako makalabas. Like, yun yung challenge talaga. To make it interesting. To make the small things in your house interesting. Even with content creation. To make those little things in your life as interesting as it is. You can tell a story. You can tell ganyan. Kasi we don't have, again, ulitin ko yun. Not everybody has the luxury of having vacations right now, going to Siargao right now, I've seen a lot of those, di ba? Ang daming nasa Siargao, ang daming nasa ganyan. And nasa La Union. Like ikaw, hindi naman lahat may capability para mag-work from home ng ganon. Di ba? So, yeah, yun lang naman. It's the challenge.
So, just to share, Adrian here loves to skate.
Yes!
And when it comes to being stuck at home, my dear friend over here uses the entire house as his rink.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Wala
Oh
pa
my
naman
God.
nababasag.
Wala pa naman. Yung tiles daw, natatakot na ako. So I had to change wheels to softer wheels kasi pag harder wheels, yung talon-talon medyo delikado na. So I try not to. Wala pa ako nababasag pa, pero may mga times na muntikin ko na mahulog yung electric fan, yung mga ganyan. Tapos, nasa consideration talaga siya na parang sinasabi ko sa parents ko, don't buy na, don't dagdag na the furniture, ganyan. Kasi ayoko, mahirap mag-ayos-ayos, but I really arrange it every time. Ngayon lang ako nakakalabas. So may court kasi malapit, 15 minutes away from us. So dinadrive ko talaga. Now on a daily basis kasi nagbabakasyon ako. But super, pag nandun ako sa space na yon, sa sobrang laking space, tapos like, sana ito na lang yung bahay ko. Like, ito na lang sana. Tapos kahit maliit na bahay lang within that space, masaya na ako. Like, ganun yung feeling. But yeah, speaking of skating, thank you for introducing that, no? It also, like, even in my room, I can skate kasi, like, doing dance. That's what I love about it, is I have so much things about it na pwede ko siyang gawin. But what it does for me, it frees my soul and it helps me express, like, so much frustration minsan, so much emotions that I had. Na hindi ko masabi in words, hindi ko siya ma-share, but through the movement lang. So, for me, skating has become that. And it made me gain friends in the international community more than I've imagined. Like super, akala ko it's just within the country. No, it's within the whole world. I've met friends from all over the world because of skating. Like, because of skating. Dahil sa skating, I've met like bigger influencers, and ngayon I'm working actually with a company called Golden Horse. Na parang it gave me an opportunity to earn while I do what I love. So I was like, that's a really fun thing for me, like passion and whatever comes into play. And then nagkaroon din ako ng reason for content. Like, yung walang skating, wala din akong content. Like, yun lang yung masasabi. Yung walang skating, I have got no content. Like, zero, blank. Like, wala akong maisip. Ganun ka boring yung life if walang skating. So, rock on.
That's really nice. That was very interesting. We found a niche. I used to skate as well, but not the four wheels, the inline.
Yeah.
That's my thing. So when I started seeing you doing that, I said, "Look, I want a rollerblade too." But that's for another conversation. So yeah. So just to kind of wrap up the home thing, it's really about making use of everything that you have, making it unique every time, and really coming up with something that's interesting for your audience. Well, sample daw
Sample daw, sabi ni Zara. Thank you, Zara, also.
Ako, I used to use cartulinas, and anything that I can get my hands on to have a very clean flat lay. Some people use curtains. It really depends on how creative you really are. The next thing we want to kind of touch on would be the mommies and daddies. And this is something that I think has been there for a while, but I think has really blown up rather recently, would be the mommy and daddy influencer. Did you notice also this trend, A?
No, well, on my end, akala ko, boom in, dumadami yung daddies and mommies. Well, naging trend din siya. Like, ang daming nagkakaroon ng naging pregnant, and like, oh my God, ako nga, hindi ko nga maalagaan yung sarili ko, tapos kayo magdadala kayo ng bata sa mundo to. I mean, like, nice one, pero hindi ko kaya. Like, in my head. Pero, yeah, actually, the mommy influencers, yung mommy, medyo nakita ko na siya at the start of it. So, like, ang dami, like, yung Viga Nuggets, yung CDO, lahat ng may paluto, may pabaon, may pa whatever. Nasa mommy influencers yan. Pati Dutch Mill, yan. Ang daming mommy influencers dyan. No way, I know people, no, na parang mommy influencers talaga. And they are a niche because they also, like, as their niche, as mommy influencers, sila din naman yung may purchasing power and capability to actually buy the things that they are promoting as well as content creators. So for me, napansin ko nga yung boom. I think it's because first off, like nakita naman nila na there is that, no? At least ang akin lang masela ako na may mga ganung parents na ngayon na nakita nila na social media hindi lang siya lang. Alam mo yon, hindi na siya nila lang kasi all this time growing up, even up until now, na sabihin ng tatay ko, kumikita ka ba dyan? Ganyan ka ba dyan? Like may mga ganun na tanong. Di ba? Yung sa social media content creation where kumikita ka ba dyan? Ganyan ka ba dyan? Like they want it to be stable. They don't treat it as something serious. Now na may mga parents and mommies and daddies tayo joining in, now at least nakikita nila na there is value in that. There is something that's worth Though for me, personal thoughts and opinions, I really think na medyo saturated, hindi magiging saturated din yung mommy influences and daddy influences. Kasi ang dami ding lumalabas. Like, alam mo yun, if you and I started way back 2017 pa siguro, 2018 ka nag-start ng content creation. But we started way back, di ba? Eh, ang dami ding time na yun na parang, oh my gosh, I wanna be a content creator, I wanna be an influencer, I wanna be ganyan. Because of the good things, the good, #good things that we think we're gonna get after that. Pero, being in the industry for a longer period of time, you've understood that creating the content that you enjoy putting out is the most important thing because nag-radiate din siya to your brand and everything, no? So with mommies and daddies, yeah, I think some are really great. I have notable, I'd love to say Louie Dionco. I love her. I love her as a mom. She vlogs also. Zara is also there. So I super love how, ako kay Louie kasi it's more of, it's a mix eh. May ibang, for me, mommy influences na parang really about mommy life. Talaga motherhood and all the likes. And I've met through Vlogapalooza, I've met a lot. Then naman na mommy sila, who's that? I forgot. Kasi Lizarda missed something. Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry. But it was also there. And, knowing that they are like that and they really enjoy what they do, they show. Kasi this is the moment eh. Nasa bahay sila ngayon. They're able to show what goes on with their lives and at home. And share it with the same group of people. Now, as for daddies, dito na ako magtataka kasi I haven't seen one. I haven't seen a daddy influencer yet. Like, usually kasi pag nakita ko ng daddy, it's either hindi ko alam na daddy sila or like, hindi sila mukhang daddy. Like, hindi mo alam kasi ano sila eh. Like, fitness junkie sila, very batak sila, very, parang you see less of their family. Pero makita mo lang sa stories, makita mo lang sa ganyan na, oh, daddy na pala sila. O may iba naman na, like I've seen with Chase Reaction Sports, I skate with Chase Reaction Sports. Hello, Chase, if anyone, like, if Chase watches this. But they also share, who's that guy? They have a buyer. They have an influencer. It's not, wait, I forgot. No, it's not Matsunaga eh, but there's somebody else. I keep forgetting. Pero yun talaga, pinapakita niya na daddy siya, na nag-skateboard sila na anak niya, nagaganon siya. Like that one is cute. Like that one, I know. Siya lang yung kilala kong ganon. So, with daddies, hindi questionable pa, hindi pa nakakita. Ikaw ba, Ryan? Ang daldal ko. Na-take over ko yun. Oh, go.
No, it's okay. That's why you're here. I want to hear thoughts. Where I think this all started? This, I think, started with the Kramers and then the Villaroels.
Yeah.
Right? And it really just kind of blossomed from there because you realize, kasi diba, ever since it has been either just a woman or maybe a mom and a daughter, but that's never been really kind of a family thing. And with all of the things that had happened, during this pandemic. Hello, Elise.
Hi, Elise.
Kahit sa'yo siya nag-hi.
Sorry. Ayan, pinag ko yung mga kampag yan. Thank you so much for visiting. Thank you.
Kaya nga. I think that, while we are in quarantine, and you brought up a very good point as well, that the mom is the one who handles the budget. She knows which to buy. She knows what's the best food, best laundry detergent that, they can afford or they need in their household. That's why there's so many of them. And yes, there's a lot of them now. A lot of our friends also. the people I engage with every day are mommies. I also have a campaign for mommies that I'm running as well now. So, hello po, Miss Jay Zalavera.
Hello, Jeza.
Yeah. Um, nawala ako. So, ayun.
Hola.
I think to a certain degree, and I was telling somebody this the other day lang, no. I think Instagram has become more mainstream for a lot of the products. So whether it be on the mommy family side, whether it be, and I'm going to segue into the next topic, which is health and lifestyle, whether it
Yeah.
be niche, which is maybe what you do, which is skating or boxing or what have you. So um, it has become that. Kaya sobrang ganda din yung mga nangyayari for mommy and daddy influencers kasi 'di ba it has shifted the kumbaga where the advertisers are, where the sponsors are, because they're no longer just the single guys, the single women. So nice.
Yeah,
So
yung demographic nag-boom to a different class, a different niche naman, no? But I also like, ano, no, when you said Instagram becoming mainstream, I just want to say, I just want to complain. Instagram, whatever you are, the algorithm sucks right now. I just want to say that. Like, the algorithm at some point is forcing us content creators to actually spend for sponsored posts. You want to get yourself seen by others. Even hashtags somehow doesn't work. You have to really put out yourself. It works magic sometimes, but it's not all the time. It really has to find the niche. Ako kasi, I just want to say, the reason why my algorithm is going a little, I think I'm performing a little better on the algorithm right now because I found my niche. Like, yung niche ko kasi, like, I haven't been like really active with other niches kasi at the moment, to be honest. But my niche, like the community that I'm in, is very supportive. That it really like somehow, somebody reshares, somebody does this, somebody whatever, and it's really that, and it helps me grow and get me up into the algorithm. But there are days that even if you post at the optimal time that you're supposed to post, even if you engage, even if you whatever on people, it's it sucks right now kasi ang dami kasi din talaga. Being it mainstream, people are trying to get in the wagon all the time. Everybody's just like trying to, it's a fight for everybody to get noticed in the middle of it. So, on that note, before we move on to health and wellness and lifestyle, you really have to know what you're gonna put out. Like, that's one of the things I want to share. No? You don't put out. I think people should have this mindset. If you want to be a content creator, create content with value. Provide value before you expect any of any value in return. Because that's what also people will gravitate towards. If they're just gonna see you na, oh, ganito lang gawin mo, ganito lang gagawin mo. Yeah, sure. There are other people who does that too. What is different with you? What is the value that you provide my life? Why should I follow this person? Like, you always have to think about that. Like, what do you see and what you want to see? Kasi, yeah, dami mong competition.
I love that, AD. I love what you said. And we'll talk about that a little bit later in terms of, how do you get noticed? Why do you need to get noticed? And what do you need to do to get noticed? But kind of, yeah, so going back to the next kind of part of the conversation is the health and lifestyle. And this is connected also to being stuck at home. I think with
Yeah.
COVID, more and more people have been more conscious about being healthy. And I myself, have noticed there's a lot more brands that are in the medical related, whether it be multivitamins, anti whatever,
The
anti-flu.
ion thingy. And the
Yes,
mask. Yeah.
diba? Ang dami niyan. Um, so what do you think is that doing to us? I mean, is it because the reason we wanted to talk about this is that how should you approach when somebody tells you, okay, can you promote my product? When you talk about a multivitamin or that iron necklace or anything that's supposed to improve your lifestyle. Because more often than not, you do not have the time to test it out. You are not an authority to do it, but you're being asked to promote it, diba?
Uh, well, that's a good question, TH. But for me, let's go back to, I want to start this out with the idea of the pandemic first. So the pandemic that has been brought into this world showed us a lot of things about how crippled we are with the system right now, both mentally, physically, emotionally, how corrupt the system is, how the system is broken and it's not suitable for all of us. One shoe doesn't fit all, one size doesn't fit all. So we have to look into that health as a whole, holistically. The pandemic has brought us this new revelation of how to take care of ourselves better. Like, how do you take a break if you're having emotional burnout, mental breakdown, and all next. Tapos, ito pa, di ba napansin mo din to, boom ng I'm in my own pace, in my own lane, in my ganyan. May ganong mindset, growth mindset na lumalabas just because everybody's stuck. Everybody is like, buhay ko na stuck. Ano nang gagawin ko? What's my next step? What's my ganyan? Now, pinakita lang ng pandemic na to na parang, everything's not about the glitz, the glam, and the fashion. It's not all about this. It's what you actually do with the life and the time that you have and what your lifestyle is above all that. Now, tinuruan din tayo with the physical part of it to take care of ourselves better, to have time, to make time to exercise, na wala na, kinot out na yung transportation time mo, which was a really big factor dati, no? Hindi ka work from home, ganyan. Big factor yun, kaya hindi ka nag-workout kasi wala kang oras. Now that you have the time, what do you do with it? Now that changes everything, the perspective. The pandemic just gave us a different perspective of how life or how else we could live our lives. Now, with the pagdating naman sa product, I know we can't test it. Sometimes we're not even authorized. But I think the best way to promote the product is to actually use it yourself. Like ako, ito yung mapapansin mo. A lot of people, if you do surveys, if you ask, they will tell you, or minsan nga, hindi mo pa tatanungin, sabihin nila sa'yo, ay, mga influencers na yan, hindi naman siguro talaga nila ginagamit yan. Alam mo yun, yung mga joke na parang may nagpo-promote ng Oppo, pero ang gamit pala talaga iPhone, no? Artistang galon, di ba? Nag-endorse sila ng ganito, pero iPhone ang cellphone nila or dalawa cellphone nila. Because may mga tao na cynical. Like, isipin mo, there are different people who would see that. That's cynical. So, I don't know, with you, with your own discernment, like, kung yan ginagamit mo talaga to, matagal mo na tong alam, I think that's a good way for you to say yes. Kasi marami kang masasabi about the product. Pero if hindi ka sure, hindi ka sigurado, and we think it's just an additional project with you, siguro isipin mo muna if it's gonna benefit you as a content creator. Kasi minsan, ang iisip mo, if you're a content creator and then a brand on health and wellness provides you this, provides you that, minsan, ang isipin mo, swerte ko, meron ako makukuha ang ganito. Swerte ko, may makukuha akong ganyan. But you also have the right to actually be choosy dun sa magiging ipapromote mo kasi this will add to your image. So parang, pinapromote nyo to pero na-try ko na to, hindi naman ganyan. Diba? Yung credibility mo, maano din. You have the right to actually choose. So, generally, in general perspective natin, we want to be able to promote a holistic side of what health is. Health isn't just about being physically fit. It's being able to have enough mental capacity to deal with your emotions, enough emotional intelligence to deal with the heartbreaks that you're gonna go through. Kasi ang dami rin nagiging sawi alam mo, ang dami nagiging sawi, ang dami nagiging LDR, ang dami ganyan. Emotion, all in that aspect, health and wellness yun. Health and lifestyle mo yun. So with the pandemic, naturuan lang talaga, actually, tinapat lang tayo sa salamin. Kung ano yung meron tayo, iniwan lang, sa bahay lang tayo, ito lang, anong meron ka? What makes you different out of all people na ngayon, pare-pares kayo nasa bahay? Diba? What sets you apart now? So, with all that, pagdating sa brands, like, for example, ako, I'm not this is Freshco. Yan. The reason why I allowed myself to gusto ko sumali with Freshco was because I also use essential oils. Like, I have, like, lavender essential oils, I have ganyan. So, I really already use it. And I'm able to, like, vouch for it. That works for me. And if it doesn't work for you, fine. But it works for me. Like, okay siya sa akin. Baka gusto mong subukan. In yung kailangan, I don't know, it's the best way. Nakita ko kasi yan Like, being in the industry for like what, 4 years now, which is, yeah, 4 years. Um, Parang dati, oo, tanggap ko, yes, yes, yes to all the projects, all the events. Now, what I realized, like, since I have my own niche, I have what works for me and what I enjoy wearing, the more that I promote something that I like, the more that people actually come to me and ask me about it. It's not because, they see me because of me using it. They ask me questions and I happily oblige and answer. Pero it shows talaga. Like with the content that you make, it shows talaga if you are using the product itself. Like it doesn't show you na parang half-baked na, para lang sa ganito to. Like, yung mga ganun. People will pick up on that kasi. So yun lang yung take ko doon. Yun lang.
Thank you. I like that, the hinarap lang tayo sa salamin comment. Tito Boy.
Sure ka pa na ba?
For me naman, like I said, no, there's a resurgence, or there, not really a resurgence, but there's just a lot more brands that are out there that are really pushing their products and services out there that has to do with overall well-being and being healthy altogether, no. And from my take, and I've taken on several projects that has to do with lifestyle and what have you, from workout equipment to multivitamins to drinks. It's not about really just saying that, sorry, excuse me, it's not about saying that this particular product is the best. What you need to be the authenticity of it. I try my best as much as possible to try everything that I do, or that I have, or in terms of my projects. But what I do is I research, because the captions are very important, or if it's a YouTube video, it's a very, it's already there. You cannot retract whatever you say. So I research. I don't necessarily, and more often than not, do not compare it with other brands. I just say it as it is. That way, I am only describing a particular product. I may sometimes review it if I have a point of comparison, but if there is no comparison, I do not really do that. I do not say it's the best. I say it's affordable. I try not to say words that can be misconstrued, like effective or anything like that. So, tsaka din, paano ba? Kung hindi talaga, and you brought this up as well, kung hindi mo naman talaga gagamitin or hindi naman akma sa'yo, wag na lang. Don't accept a project just to get a project. Diba? So, the next thing is the TikTok effect.
Yan! I love the TikTok effect. TikTokers na ako sa mga nangyaring ito. But, well, gusto ko simulan to sa'yo. Nag-enjoy ko ito pinaka-nakikita ko kasi, first off, sa TikTok, okay, ganito yan. I'll tell you my journey sa TikTok. That I have 2 accounts. I started with one, random content, random stuff that I talk about. Then, medyo okay naman yung growth. Okay yung mga videos, umabot ng 3K followers. But, and then, hindi na siya, like, bumagal na siya after. Hindi na ako pinapakita ng TikTok algorithm, ganyan. May mga hit or miss na parang umaabot ng whatever point of view, umaabot ng ibang how many K views, ganyan. But, hindi siya all the time. So, may mga nakita naman ako, ang maganda sa TikTok, informative naman siya. Bukod sa maraming pa-cute and may mga informative naman, may mga side ng TikTok. Alam mo yung sinasabi nilang book talk, witch talk, edu talk, like ang daming part ng TikTok. If isa ka dun sa mga taong yon, the algorithm of TikTok, which is really nice right now, is they show you and your content to people who actually consume the same kind of content. Ganon din naman sa Instagram. But sa Instagram kasi, to compare them both, the Instagram has tried to develop this parang human-like AI connection. So hindi kita ipapakita sa feed ko pag hindi kita na-engage. If hindi ko na-like yung photo mo, if hindi ko nakita yung story mo, hindi ikaw ilalagay dun sa mga ano. So, the less that we engage with each other, the less that I'm gonna see you in my feed. Now, with TikTok, if you are in a specific niche, ipapakita ko dun sa mga viewers ng niche na yon. Pero with TikTok, para siyang FGD. focus group discussion. Parang ganun siya. Na yung first 10 viewers, pag nagtagal sila sa video mo, TikTok will show you more. Then we'll show you again. We'll show you again. So you have to know when you're gonna create a content, it has to be engaging, it has to be something that brings value, it has to be something that people will like, oh my God, tama ako at gusto ko dito. Ganyan, like, ganun siya on TikTok. Which, for me, it's easier for us to express ourselves. Ako, the reason why I like TikTok is, so yun nga, yung story ko is I started with one, and then I saw a content creator and said, you know what, it's easy to train the algorithm ng TikTok. So, dahil dun sa first experimental TikTok mo, alam mo na yung niche mo, alam mo na yung nag-view sa'yo, ano yung mga relatable sa'yo, the next account mo, yun lang yung papakita mo. You start with that and post at least once a day, every day of the week. And then, it did not fail. I swear, like the first video I posted on that other account, which I use now, Fresh FM Adrian, 80, The Fairy of Self-Love, is there. The first one blew up. Like 60K views siya in 3 days. Like, it blew up. Then, coming in the next few days, nagbo-blow up din siya. So, nagkaroon din ako ng series of videos na nag-blow up siya. Lampas 10K views, lampas ganyan. So, it's really, like, you get a chance to be seen by other people. And the best thing I like about TikTok, no, like, I guess on my niche, kasi niche ko is self-love, self-improvement, education, and really pouring out my thoughts. Hindi ko masyadong kailangan magpaganda kahit na nakahubad lang ako, na t-shirt, shirtless lang ako, tapos magsasalita lang ako, or nagkakape lang ako. It's easy to share my thoughts and be shown to other people and create a community. Because of that, I've made a community, I've made a group. Because of that, like, and like, it really grew and helped me grow even with my podcast. So, the TikTok effect, the reason why I think a lot of people like the TikTok effect is the anonymity din. Like, hindi kasi siya parang Instagram na medyo personal lang Instagram eh. Ang TikTok kasi parang hindi naman lahat nagti-TikTok. May mga nag-refuse pa rin mag-TikTok na, okay na ako sa Instagram. And marami rin haters, marami rin ganyan sa TikTok. But for me, like, yung mga napupunta sa akin, which is thank you because I guess hindi siya toxic. But napupunta sa akin are very appreciative of what I do. I appreciate it. It's very nice. And parang doon lang ako naging free as a content creator kasi for me, pag Instagram, meron kang stigma na kailangan aesthetic. Kailangan very socialin yung dating. Kailangan laging in the new or in the trend ka. Sa TikTok, kahit naman sino, kahit ano, kahit hindi ka mahilig kumalaw or hindi ka ganun ka attractive tignan on their other people's perspective. Kasi sa Instagram, ganun eh. Pag hot ka, pag ganito ka, hubadera, which is coming up next, pag hubadera ka and all the like, ang dami. Ganun din naman sa TikTok. Pero may mga iba pa rin tao nakaka-appreciate the things that you bring into the table. Kasi nga, video na siya. Hindi mo rin kailangan pag-isipan na kailangan match to sa feed ko. Kailangan ganito siya. Kasi hindi naman chronological makita yung feed mo eh. Makita yung feed mo to those people that the algorithm thinks deserves to see your content. So it's less work, less stress na kailangan perfect. It defeats that idea of everything has to be perfect. So I think for me, the TikTok effect, it's gonna stay. TikTok is gonna stay. Nakita nyo ba na nagka-content sa TikTok? Nakita nyo ba na ganyan sa TikTok? It's gonna stay. As much as Kumu is also gonna stay. Live streaming and all the likes, it's gonna stay. Pero what TikTok brings into the table, no, is ginagaya nga ng Instagram din yan, Reels. Have you heard of IG Reels? Wala pa tayo noon sa Philippines. I mean, I don't know who else have this na. Wala pa ako noon. But they say, if mag-Reels ka, mas ipapakita ka ng Instagram. Medyo huli na tayo doon as influencers kasi ang tagal-tagal na ng Reels sa ibang bansa. Tayo lang, wala pa rin, di ba? So, Reels are like their TikTok version. So, okay, within the app, may mga ganun ka. Mas madali daw magpasikat na ngayon, magpa-algorithm, whatever, etc. But, with TikTok naman, you're able to reach more people kasi. And hindi ako takot sa judgments from TikTok because they're technically random people who's gonna see my content. If they have something else to say with that, it's fine. Mas takot lang ako sa Instagram kasi syempre, people who follow me there have a certain standard of who I am. Syempre, may mga friends ka doon na makikita talaga nila yung post. So, syempre, may hiya ka. But, cross-platform din naman. I share my videos sa stories. But hindi siya sa feed. Diba? There's a difference between that. But I think, yeah, yun. That's why TikTok is very attractive to a lot of younger people and people who want to type. Is expressing yourselves there. Kasi as freely as you can. Like, okay, so my other account now, which I'm happy about, thank you for all my followers and yung mga bumisita kanina, yung mga lovies ko yan. They visited, they made, they're part of my group chat, they're part of my group. Nasa 29.3 ata na akong K followers. And they're just really good, na parang ang bilis, like in less than 2 months. That's what I got in the ano. And usually don't care about the numbers. Like, and minsan nga hindi ko na pinapakalaman, like, as in magugulat na lang ako na, oh my gosh, ganito na pala ako. Oh, may ganyan na pala ako. Like, ganun lang siya. But what I also enjoy, live din sa TikTok. Hindi katulad ng Instagram, pag magla-live ka, isa, dalawa, tatlo, unless super sikat yung artista, doon lang dumadami. Sa TikTok, people really, like, may version ng, may part sa TikTok na learn, daily life. So may mga different categories ng live mo. And then you really get to connect with people. Minsan, like, you get 10, 20 viewers there. Ano, you really get, ayan, Sarah said, okay, TikTok is really more raw and authentic. People are more comfortable sharing there. Yeah, see, I've known people, yeah, Sarah has been doing TikTok. I have a friend who also did TikTok. Yung mga, pero naka-private for friends lang, yung mga hindi pa ready magpakita sa buong mundo na nag-TikTok sila. Pero pag bago ka sa TikTok, tapos like yung content mo really good and engaging naman, you get 600 views. That's way more than you get in Instagram. You know, like you that's way more than what you get in posting a video on Instagram. Like sa Instagram, if you count my views, parang nasa minsan 600, 800. Tapos pag tinignan mo yung policy, hindi naman siya equivalent to all those, di ba? Like it's really hard. Pero with TikTok naman, kahit 10 followers ka pa lang, 70 followers ka pa lang, ipapakita ka niya talaga, may chance ka talagang makita ng ibang tao and mag-gravitate towards you pag nakaka-relate sila sa'yo. Like that's, I love the people in TikTok. I really made a relationship with the people in TikTok. Like super nagulat din ako na, akala ko I wouldn't. Alam mo, parang for fun lang yan eh. Video diary ko lang yan eh. And then it became that. So, anyway.
Thank you. I appreciate the passion for it. You know, I am not as adept in TikTok. And you know, what Sarah said is also true na parang, it is really raw. You brought that up as well. To kind of summarize from what you've said. So is Instagram, and I said this earlier, no, mainstream, and TikTok is real, is raw, is young, and creative. Because I also appreciate TikTok, you know, the comedy of it.
Yeah, the transitions. And the acting. Oh my God, yes.
Yes. And kaya ako hindi rin ako, you know, I guess I'm not necessarily stuck in Instagram because I guess I'm comfortable in Instagram. I dabble a little bit on TikTok. Yeah. Yesterday I just posted something about, you know, parang kamukha ko si Piolo, ganyan. And it's about, you know, and I can see it quickly really gathering views. And to your point, you know, the algorithm, and I guess it's also about the number of people that's really actively using TikTok more. Because I guess yung mga mas bata talaga, they're more into TikTok because it's more agile, it's more entertaining. While Instagram is very, not necessarily stiff, but you know, it is very frou-frou. It is very aesthetic. That it is, you know, it's what you see because Instagram was made to be a photo sharing app versus TikTok as, you know, no, it, you know, probably that it started as Musical.ly, right?
Yeah. Like I remember those days. You know what, Musical.ly was a little cringy for me kasi you know people like it wasn't for me. Like that wasn't. I remember those days. You know, may mga hand gestures pa na like oh God.
Oh, and I guess also the users that evolved TikTok because at the end at the onset it was, you know, because it's more the dance before, now it's no longer just you can, I've seen just the other day that there's so much drama also, you know, that people do, and it becomes more and more inclusive to me. And that's why it's so powerful. However, what I read yesterday is that I I never knew. I actually thought that TikTok monetizes influencers. Apparently, hindi pala.
No, I think they yeah, no, they haven't monetized it. Kasi like yeah, they haven't monetized. It's not like YouTube na parang oh they pay you like you know. No, the dip well it's almost like Instagram, no. They you bank off of like promotions and all the like, which is yeah, but ang pinagkaiba naman kasi for me ha, the difference between that and YouTube. Also, YouTube is harder. Kasi it's more ano more editing, more storyboard, more of the, it also has a lot to do with SEOs, like, which is a little technical for a lot of people. Now, a reason why TikTok is also powerful, it's 1 minute videos, 15-minute videos, 15-second videos. You actually do stuff for fun. And if you get something out of it, then that's great. Like you learn, yung ano, and also very interactive. Videos are quite interactive. Like if you ako, whenever I go to TikTok and then I see people yung mga nagtatransition ng damit, nagtatransition ng ganyan, I'm like, ooh, the creativity of these people are amazing, are powerful. Like, alam mo, tapos yung mga poems pa. Like, nandun ako malagi sa poem TikTok. Oh my God, ang gagaling. Like, so, how do, like, acting din, like, ikaw parang, ang effort para sa video, like, yun yung masasabi ko, like, oh my God. So, for me, I think lang, no, it's because talaga of it being a video platform. But, I also believe that they should monetize naman the influencers. They should be able to provide, ano, kasi what I also heard, like, there are some, for example, me, I was selected to join in their campaign called EduCamp PH. So to provide educational content, anything motivational, using different kinds of ganyan and all the likes. No, I tried to join that. And what they vow naman is if you were to be picked and ganyan, they'll show your videos to multiple people. They'll show it to at least millions. Talagang they will show you. So, I think yun yung kapalit. No? Yun yung kapalit na hindi ka ma-monetize, pero if your content is something worth showing, they will not make dependent showing you. Unlike, other platforms na pag napansin mo, gano'n ng Facebook, gano'n ng Instagram, hindi ka na masyado pinapakita to other people who doesn't have a relationship with you eh. Like, hindi ka na nagka-comment, hindi ka nag-engage. Yun yung reason. So, pero yan, sorry, it's a little bit of everything, grabe. Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. I love TikTok. I love how it is. I have friends na nilalambon ng TikTok hanggang 3, whatever. Pero ako, hindi, yeah, pero ako, sinasabi ko, pag sinasabi nilang, di ba, social media content creator, ako ganyan. Pag sinasabi nilang, kung hindi ako ma-social media, hindi talaga ako ma-social media. Like, hindi ako madalas nagtatambay sa mga, like, pag tumatambay ako, given a few hours lang siya, and then okay na ako within that day. Tapos ibang bagay na, and focus on my other stuff niya talaga yung ginagawa ko. I am in social media, but I don't stay much within the bubble. I only set a few time for that, for social media listening, para lang makita ko what's going on, what the trends are. But, yeah. So now, gusto mo bang, meron ka ba bang sasabihin? Gusto mo i-lead natin sa final?
Next title na ba? I think this is also consistent with TikTok. And the last and most, I guess, controversial topic that we want to touch on tonight would be the ones, and we will call them the provocateurs. The provocative. Yes. And in Tagalog, the hubaderos and hubaderas. So there's so many of them, it's across platforms, whether it be Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, not necessarily Facebook. A little bit of flesh on Facebook, but there's so many of them. So what are your thoughts with these people, whether it be you're new and then all of a sudden you're already showing some flesh, or you're somebody who's been there for a while and you just want to kind of get ahead of everyone, and all of a sudden you're taking it all out. What do you want to say?
Okay,
What's your
first off, this a disclaimer and T-bombing. I'm not
Don't
gonna be
make
yeah,
yeah.
but I'm not gonna sugarcoat anyone or anything on my perspective of this. First off, I want to say that whenever I see hubaderos and hubaderas, I'm just like, wow, bitch, good job. Like, you work talaga. Okay, nice. Pero personally, when I see, like ako kasi, I'm a very selective person when it comes to seeing content. First off, I acknowledge, no, I acknowledge the effort that they put into their bodies, their expression, and all the likes. But for me, it's not my thing. So personally, it's not my thing, and it's fine. It's fine if it's your thing. But for me, minsan kasi, I just don't find it useful in my life. If puro yun lang yung nakita ko. Like, I don't find it useful. So, sorry to my other hubadero and hubaderas or whatever. Which pag friend ko naman, like, cheer on ako. Like, I don't really mind. Cheer on! Rock! Magubad ka! Or whatever. Go for it! Lower! Lower! Ganyan. But, but for me, what I don't like about it, it promotes some standard of society that I don't agree with. That beauty standard of the society that I don't really like seeing all the time because it makes me feel bad about myself also. Well, that's on me, man. You know, it's not on them. I'm not gonna put them the responsibility to make me feel good about what they're doing. But if they're proud of their body, go for it. Like, go for it. Say na. Proud them for you. I'm happy for you. But for me, I don't, it's to each their own. It's to each their own talaga. For hindi lang, hindi na not interested ko talaga siya. When I see it on TikTok, and I see it on Instagram, pag yun talagang, sorry, but may mga kasi pakit talaga, alam mo yung GGSS, yung alam talaga nilang sobrang gwapong-gwapo sila sa sarili nila, gandang-ganda sila sa sarili nila, parang papakita nila yung ganda. Tapos gusto nila pakita rin, hindi talaga, nagpapakita sila ng subtitles, guys. Like, yun talaga yun. Like, yung inaalog talaga nila yung subtitle nila para lahat ng tao, oh my God, ang grabe yung subtitle. May subtitle ba itong video na to? Which is also cross-platform sa TikTok. Maraming ganyan. Maraming ganyan sa TikTok. Yung talagang, tapos like, yung mga puro kadyot pa yung mga moves, yung ganong moves sa TikTok. Ang dami nun. Pag nakikita ko yun, may iba talagang pogi, tapos titignan ko muna talaga. Or like, may pag girls naman, I'm very empowered. Like, go for it, girl. Body pa. Like, yun kasi. But meron kasing way May mga ways itong mga hubaderos at hubaderas natin to show themselves. May iba na wholesome to a point na pinapakita talaga nila yung progress nila with their body, they work hard for it. That I appreciate. Pero pag may thin line kasi akong tinitignan, yung thin line ako na parang masyado na. I mean, like, thank you, but I'm good. I don't like seeing this all the time. Like, okay na ako. Like, I appreciate this. Like, and then that's it. Move on. Like, hindi ako pupunta doon para i-check na lahat. May mga models like that, it's okay, it's wonderful. I love seeing those. Pero like, may mga talaga, the stories, minsan, sorry, may mga ganito talaga, parang, nag-thirst trap talaga, nagaganyan talaga. Medyo iffy ako sa ganon. Parang, okay, it's your thing, but it's not mine. Like, ganon, it's not mine. But I don't hate you for that. It's just, I'm selective of what I want to see. Pero pag friends, go for it. Ganun lang ako. Pero,
yeah.
Yeah, so yan, daming ganon. And then, let's talk about really sikat one, no? Na nag-news din. May nagtanong ko sa TikTok ko nito. Like, I love you kasi ako sa comment section niya, si Lloyd Aaron Agustin. Like, I love you ako sa TikTok na kasi sabi ko, oh my God, sorry, name drop ko. But nasa news naman siya, guys. Saka proud naman siya. And I'm happy for him what he's doing. Like, go for it. Like, kung saan siya masaya, doon siya masaya. Like, go. Tinanong kasi ako sa TikTok ko na, fan ka pa rin ba ni Lloyd, ganyan, ni White Knight, kahit nagaganyan siya sa online? So sabi ko, oo. Like, hindi naman yun yung reason kung bakit ko siya pinalo. The content that he put out was targeting toxic masculinity. The topic that he was tackling targets about misogyny and all the like. So, syempre, ko no, na parang, I love it. Rock on. You know, rights and human rights and whatever. That's that. Yun. And I said, I love you, Miguel. I love you so much. Thank you for championing for women's rights and all the likes, human rights, and etc. So, yung nag-comment talaga sa Instagram, ay sa TikTok ko na, fan ka pa rin ba niya kahit nagpaano siya, na ganito daw siya. So, ko na, oo. Kasi like, that thing that he does is not the only thing that defines him. And if yun yung way of kumikita niya and all the likes, okay, go for it. But no, medyo na-off lang, to be honest, medyo na-off lang ako recently kasi the way he kinds of like flaunts it out. Like, oh, this is what I've been earning. Like, fine. But I think it was a homage to haters asking him to like, oh, ganyan yan, or hindi na kita support kasi ganyan ka. Totoo naman eh, ano bang point? Like, sa kanyang, that's his account. Besides, people do it, and if people watch adult movies, why can't he provide, like, if he wants to do that, why can't he have the freedom and liberty to actually do that? Like, ang dami kasi gano'n. And for me, respecting the hubaderos and the hubaderas in their own pages and all the likes, it's supposed to be there. And ang pangit pa, siguro for me, kaya hindi lang siya para sa akin, it's because it calls unnecessary attention as well. Like, pag nakita mo naman yung mga comments, ang sarap, ang ganyan. I mean, that's flattering to a point, pero pag lagi na lang at yun na lang yung nakita sa akin ng tao, syempre, I don't like that. Like, I'm more than my body. I am more than what you see. Diba? So, for them, I think, may mga tao kasing they feel freer showing themselves in a hubadera setting, in hubadera setting. Like, that's their expression. And to each their own talaga. Like, sa akin, to each their own. And if it's not your cup of tea, wala ka rin naman maganda sasabihin about it. Might as well not. And then, hindi ka rin naman nila pipilitin i-consume yung content nila. You know what I mean? Like, it's really just respecting the space. But, again, I appreciate their bodies. Pag nakakita naman ako at na, wow, the body is good. Happy for you. Like, hot. Pero, ano lang, iingat lang din ako for my own mental sake and mental health. Siyempre, alam mo yan, it won't stop you. Ikaw din, like, of course, ikaw din or sino man na parang, kaya nga tayo nag-workout, diba? Kaya we wanna make ourselves look aesthetically pleasing, lalo na sa camera. Alam mo yan, kaya din, other than health-wise, gusto natin beach body. Gusto natin ganyan. Like, syempre, sila, I'm sure ganun din yung iniisip nila and that's their puhunan of whatever. So if that's their puhunan, respect it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Like, hindi mo naman hawak yun, hindi mo naman buhay yun, hindi mo ikaw din, bakit ikaw ba yung magpuproblema? No? Ikaw ba yung kukomenta ng grabe yung subtitle mo? I mean, they deserve respect. They deserve the respect. But, yeah.
Sige, go ahead.
They deserve the respect. But again, sometimes people don't understand the boundaries. It's not gonna be anything under your control. So if you're gonna be hubadera, be sure to also, I'm not gonna blame it on you, but be sure to also be ready to shoot down people who are disrespectful of your space. No? Yun lang. Hindi mo makakontrol talaga yung mga tao. Ayun lang naman yung sa akin.
That's a mouthful. So, to me, there's several things I want to talk about. So, number one, is it really just about clout, or is it self-expression? I know you already mentioned his name. I know him as well. We've worked together as well in the past, and it sometimes you don't know anymore. Is it really because you need it, or is it because it's a stepping stone to something bigger? That's you. I'm not saying I'm judging you, but sometimes I just don't understand. Now, the other thing I want to point out is, I come from a different age group. And the people who are from my age group grew up wherein you have some certain level of morals that now, you flaunting your pubes or what have you, there's so much, people are normalizing it that with OnlyFans being there, which by the way, didn't start like that, was supposed to be an expression of artistry and what have you. Just like the other platform, I can't remember.
Just for fans.
Patreon, yes, Patreon. Yeah. So Patreon is also about creatives. It's not necessarily sex or porn. So it feels very kind of not necessarily parang disgruntled ako or anything. It just makes it a lot more parang
bothersome. It is bothersome. Even becomes on Twitter. Yeah. Oh, Twitter. Let's talk about Maderas and Twitter. Like, oh my God. So guys, in Twitter there is like this space called outer space, so be careful because you might see some unpleasant videos. But to be honest, like gets ko. I really get the generational thing and also like the normalization of that. For me, kasi it's not that I don't want to offend them. No, I find it bothersome as well. Like because I have different morals and values. But I just have to learn how to respect and live with that because hindi ko kasi hawak yon. Hindi ko hawak yon as a person. But it's because of the system that also justifies it. You know, it it roots because of so many things. Capitalism being one of the main drivers of it. That's why there are adult movies. Adult movies naman has been around for centuries. You know, bold movies pa nga ang tawag doon. Ano yun, yung mga ang kapeng mainit sa aking whatever na pandesal. Alam mo yun, like, di ba, ang daming ganon na pinagtatawanan na lang natin ngayon. But then, it was women that we actually use in front of, you know, yung mga dating bold stars that turned into an artist. Like, you know, if you're gonna mention names, you're gonna know a lot of people about na pumasok sa showbiz going through some kind of hoop, di ba? Indecent proposals, and which is evident up until now. It's a systemic thing. Like, yun yung masasabi ko. It's not just a generational thing, but it's a systemic thing. It's what the other people allowed before to happen, why is it being normalized now? Kasi, totoo naman, bakit oo nga naman, mayroon ka makikitang DVD dati, CD dati, na may nagpapromote na ganyan. Alam mo yun, parang, ngayon, it just became accessible sa social media, you get paid for it right after doing it, and all the likes. And can I just say, sometimes it's just boring, and I'm like, oh, no. But yun nga, it's totally different feature. I am disgruntled, I am bothered by it at a certain level. Minsan kasi, alam mo yun, parang, oh, come on, alam na namin ganyan ka. Okay, gets. Like, alam mo yun, parang ayaw ko na makita. But, so again, nasa control mo naman yun kung which you wanna see. Like, nakita ko na yan, okay na ako. Like, gano'n lang ako.
Yeah, once is enough. I guess the other question here is that, and this is just us, this is just us having a conversation, not
for sure.
To anyone's going to watch this in the future. We're not saying that we are experts in anything. This is us, just really sharing our thoughts to you guys here. So if you are a provocateur, if you're a hubadero or hubadera, are you a content creator?
That is okay. Okay, so masama. I'm sorry, I'm mean to some people like that. No? I'm mean in my head. Hindi ko naman sinasabi to sa lahat. No? Like, hindi ko naman siya ini-explain sa lahat. Pero in my head, sometimes may thought na papasok na, kaya kala maraming ganito kasi, una, malaki yung ano mo, yung subtitle mo, or malaki yung higher title mo, tapos yun ang yung pinapakita mo, or major ka into cuteness. I mean, come on. People will like that. That is how we're all wired. Seeing good physical, etc. that we like. And that we look past the substance. We look past the ganyan. Like, ang dami mo makita na people who doesn't even care about that level of substance. You know what I mean? So, minsan, I really get thoughts na parang minsan ako gusto ko itanong, ito nga, tatanong ko sa kapatid ko dati, directioner siya. Sabi ko, so, sa tingin mo, kung pangit yung mga taga One Direction, like pangit sila, kamukha niya si ganito, kamukha niya si ganito, kamukha niya si ganyan, magiging fan ka pa rin kaya. Like, you have to ask those questions. Pero yun yung talent nila. Kaya nilang kumanta. Ang galing pa rin nilang kumanta. At galing nila magsulat, pero hindi sila pogi. Would you still listen? And then my sister couldn't answer. And like she said, hindi siguro. So, I mean, that's the reality of the world, no? Your physical experiences really do matter to some people. Yun lang talaga siya. But for me, if I consider them naman content creator, but they have their own niche. Hubadera nga talaga sila. And that's it. Like, yun na yung niche mo. Yun talaga siya. And sometimes, mahirap talagang i-delineate at malaman kung is it for clout or is it doing for self-expression and whatever. Pero like, to be honest, may makikita ka naman na hindi naman na sinasadya talagang wala gifted sila, nakita through their shorts. Anong gagawin nila? Alam mo yun, wala naman. Oo, gifted naman sila yun. Kasalanan yun. Alam mo yun? Pero may iba na talagang hahawakan pa nila yung subtitle nila at igaganon ba talaga nila. Tapos like, oh my God, Dick, ang pinaka-ayokong trend, so hindi siya nakakatuwang trend sa TikTok. Yung tinuduraan nila yung cellphone, like, ano ba naman yun? Okay, so ginawa yun din niya. Pero like, okay, like ako, okay, sige na nga. Hot ka na. Maraming nagdanasa sa inyo for that. And I don't know if you like the attention or you don't like it. But I know people who does it for expression. And I have this friend. This is Ree. Ree is amazing. I love him to bits. And when I see it, I always just say, yes, power. And I wish I had the confidence that he had. Like, ganun ako. When I see people who express themselves, and I know genuinely it's for expression, I would always say, I want your confidence. Pero like, there is a meron kami, may ganito rin ako, ganito rin yung best friend ko na, meron kaming crush. Alam mo nga, ang cute niya, no? Tapos bigla na lang kami, ayoko na siya kasi alam niya namang pogi siya, sobrang alam mo, sobrang papogi niya, sobrang paganyan niya. Like, minsan, it throws me off na, masyado ka na eh. Like, OA na. Alam mo yun, parang may mga ganun. Pero, opinion ko naman yun. Eh. It's not supposed to hurt the person. Like, ganun siya. Like, we all have those. But it doesn't mean that you're gonna spread hate on those people who does the same thing. It's just, if it's not your cup of tea, then don't drink the freaking tea. Like, leave it to be cold. And it doesn't. Like, don't waste your energy on being able to that. But I believe naman talaga na content creators din naman sila. Not the best kind that I'd love to see online.
Content is content. And you know for a fact, content is king.
Yes.
And just to kind of wrap up, no. So we've talked about number one, our home content. You know, because in this COVID pandemic, we are stuck at home, and as content creators, we are made to be more creative and really make do with what we have. You know, we talked about using cartolina, cortina, and what have you. And second would be the influx of the mommies and daddies influencers, because they are more powerful than ever now, because they're all at home. Everyone is at home, and the purchasing power is there. Number three is and I forget, the third topic.
Health.
Health and lifestyle, yes, because as you know, lahat tayo na praning, and a lot of the products that we consume. And aminin mo to, Adrian, never in your life did you make sure that you always take your vitamins. Hindi lang isa, dalawa, maybe three.
Yeah, totoo.
Diba? And it's become more and more powerful for content creators to push lifestyle and health products online. Number four is the TikTok effect.
Yes.
We all love that. You know, it's raw, it's real, it doesn't need to be pretty, it needs to be entertaining, however, and it needs to be short.
Yeah.
Diba? And number four number five, and I think we've, kind of the most controversial would be the hubaderos and hubaderas.
Yes.
And to kind of, put it all together, that's all still content. And if you fall under in any of these categories, you're still content creators in your own right. Tama ba, Adrian?
For sure. And like whatever you put out naman, ako, ito lang naman masasabi ko, no? If you're a content creator, you have to stand by your content. If hubadera ka, stand up by it. Like, be sure na ito talaga yung gusto. Alam mo yan, parang you have to be, panindigan mo yung content mo. Hindi ka pwedeng that's it. Like, whatever you do it with the full whatever. And no, whatever it goes, like everything naman has a repercussion or an opposite reaction to whatever you put out. So, I think being a responsible content creator at that point, you have to also be like, hubadera ka. Hindi pa naman makakontrol kung minor yung titingin ng ganito mo, kung ganito yan, di ba? But you always have, it's your responsibility to what? Like, if you encounter someone who messages you na alam mong minor, it's your responsibility not to reply. It's your responsibility to educate. At that point, being a content creator, you have a responsibility to the society to actually provide those disclaimers or those like educational stuff that comes along with being this content creator. Yun lang yung akin. Kasi with provocateurs, go for it. But, di ba, hindi naman natin kontrolado kung sino manonood sa inyo at sino ang maano sa inyo. So, you, in your own way, you have to keep it a space safe for the community that you're in as well. Yun lang naman yun. Ako, yun yung bothersome din sa akin with other stuff like with the spaces that we have. Ang dami, like sa Twitter, mga baguettes and stuff. Alam mo yun, like you hear those and all the likes and people do have a knack for that. Like, oh gosh, like come on, be responsible.
And right, like, I mean, Twitter is an entirely different conversation, AD.
That's
entirely different hour.
It is. I know. I'm sorry, but like I have to. Like, you have to be careful with what you look at in the internet. So for all of you content creators, be responsible with the content you put out, and always, make sure that whatever you put out, kaya mong panindigan. Yun lang yung akin. Like that's the key takeaway for me here.
Right. So, Adrian, I want to thank you so much for the hour that you've spent with me today. It's so much conversation. We've tackled so much. I think there's going to be a lot of things that our viewers can pick up from what we talked about today. And this is just us. This is our own opinions. Does not reflect any other person.
Yes.
Zara, we missed you today. It was a really, really great conversation. I hope to see you soon. I hope to have you again in the show.
Yeah.
So, right before we end, do you want to plug anything, any gig, any racket, and your socials again?
Okay, sige. Hi, thank you so much. I am Adrian Duarte, Fresh FM Adrian. I do have shows on freshfmph.com every Mondays to Fridays, 6 to 8 if you want to listen to me. And I do my lives on TikTok as well during those times. So, kasabay niyo ako mag-TikTok and etc. Also, I want to plug Blogapalooza. I host their Advice Thursdays every week, every Thursday. Now, we're also going to have our 6th birthday with Blogapalooza. So I want to plug that on June. Wait, I have to show. When is that? June. Wait. Basta, somewhere in June. I forgot the date, but there you go. And plugging my TikTok, Fresh FM Adrian, and Instagram and all the likes. Lastly, my podcast called Love, Growth, and Freedom. So if you want to talk about like self-growth, improvement, and all the likes, a podcast that believes in love, encourages growth, and acknowledges freedom, that's the podcast you can listen to on Spotify and all the streaming platforms that you have. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Adrian. I'm so proud of everything that you do. I appreciate the time today. Guys, maraming salamat for watching. Again, for those who are watching this on YouTube at a later time, thank you for spending the afternoon or whatever it is, what time is. So, guys, goodbye until next Wednesday. Well, this is a one-off. So hopefully next week we're back on our Wednesday schedule. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.